And begin to notice the parts of your body that are in contact with your mat. Some part of your feet, your toes, whether your eyes are open or closed right now, softening the muscles in your face, in your jaw. If your eyes are open, maybe looking up and down and side to side, and then letting the eyes drift closed. Where you are, if it's accessible to your nervous system and doesn't introduce any discomfort, take your eyes like you were looking up, but keep them closed. And then take them off to the left. Look down and off to the right. The lids stay closed for this. Going the other direction, going down to the left, up, and back to neutral. Noticing what kinds of sensation that movement brings into your body. Checking in as you let an awareness of light travel down from the head, through your jaw, your neck. Almost envisioning this like a photocopier scanning down your body. Bringing awareness to each point, maybe observing what you find, maybe keeping the focus on that light. The light begins to travel into the lower abdomen and hips, checking in with that part of your body and its contact with the ground. Following the light as it moves through the lower extremities toward the toes. Noticing if there's tension in your feet and toes, maybe beginning to wiggle them. Moving the feet around in a way that's conducive to the posture you're in, maintaining that posture with a small amount of movement. And bringing your awareness to settle on your breath and body into stillness. Noticing the natural flow of your breath, or observing if physical location on your mat has had an impact on your breath. Bringing yourself back here throughout practice today, noticing how your breath shifts and changes. And if you've begun class in a position other than one that is upright, slowly start to shift yourself into an upright position. Taking your time, noticing the new connection to the ground, the new touch points of the feet, letting the teeth separate to provide space for air movement. Next time you breathe in, sweep your arms out and up overhead. Pause here as you exhale. Bring your palms to touch, even if you need to bend your elbows. Inhale once again, and exhale your hands down to your heart center, opening your eyes, softening your gaze. Draw your awareness to your torso. Notice if your shoulders are stacked over your hips, pulling your belly button in towards your spine ever so lightly. And then next time you breathe in, send your hands up to the sky, widening them out into the shape of a Y. As you exhale, cross your arms in front of your face as you lower them down, letting hands rest on opposite leg somewhere. Inhale, sweep the arms up, opening wide into that Y stretch. And then as you exhale, cross the other arm in front, lowering the arms down, hands come to your leg. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, cross and lower. Keep moving with this a few more times with your own breath. Widening that Y stretch as you like. And if you're noticing any popping in the shoulder joints here, reduce the amount of movement, the amount of width in that Y stretch until that popping goes away. The popping means you're taking the joint further than it's ready to go. Slow it down. It can be smaller, doesn't even have to go all the way up. Next time your arms are up and uncrossed, holding here, and then exhaling to bring the palms together. Inhale as you draw the hands down about chest height, and exhale to shift them over towards your right shoulder, taking your gaze to the left. Breathing here for a few rounds, noticing what you find. Does the left shoulder tend to creep forward? Scoot the hands a little bit to the left to be able to draw that left shoulder back. Next time you inhale, bring your gaze and your hands to the midpoint. And as you exhale, shift your hands to the left, taking your gaze to the right. Softening the muscles of the face if anything's tightened up. You inhale, drift back to the center with gaze and hands. And as you exhale, bring your arms down to your side. You inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. As you exhale, reach your right hand forward, your left hand back. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, left arm comes forward, right arm comes back, resisting the urge to twist in the torso here. Inhale, up. Exhale, switch. Think of your arms like a pair of scissors that are able to alternate. Inhale, up. Exhale, switch. One more time each side. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale as you bring your arms up. As you exhale, twist to the right, sweeping that left arm across your body. Right hand comes behind you for support. Inhale to the center. And exhale, twist to your left. Right arm sweeps across, left supports you from behind. Inhaling to come up to the center. Whichever leg is in front, exhale, send it long. Bring the bottom of the other foot to the inside of that thigh. Inhale here, and exhale, lean over that extended leg. Noticing if you've chosen to go completely sideways or if you've twisted. Either one is fine. Grounding your hand to that extended leg, whichever one it is. Inhale, raise the other arm towards the sky. Notice the stretch in the side body. This is going to start to draw your shoulders closer to being stacked. Find a place that's comfortable for your gaze on your neck. Lots of different options in the direction the gaze goes. Notice what works for you. On an exhale, unwind, lower that arm down, folding over your extended leg. Breathing into the stretch. Slightly bend that knee. Pull yourself a little closer to it, and then try to see what happens if you start to straighten that knee. Inhaling to sit up tall, sliding your hands up your extended leg, and then cross it back into a cross leg posture. Switch the cross of your legs here. Bring the other one in front, re-grounding through your sit bones, and then use an inhale to sweep your arms up, and exhale to twist to your right. Inhaling to the center. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale to the center. Take that other leg along, the one that's in front, the one that's in back. Bottom of the foot comes to the inside of the leg. So you lower your arms, stretch down this extended leg. Inhale, reach the arm up, opening through the chest. Extended leg hand stays down. Noticing what you find here. And then close the body like a book, whether you're twisted over the leg or you've moved more sideways, it's up to you. Notice where you feel stretches, maybe multiple places. Bend your extended leg's knee. Pull yourself a little bit towards that leg. And then see what happens if you start to straighten the leg. Inhale, sliding your hands up the leg as you sit tall. Exhale, extend the other leg out so you're in a straddle or a V stretch. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground in front of you and walk your fingertips away. Keeping your torso still, walk your hands in so they're under your shoulders. And exhale to straighten your elbows, lengthening out through your back. Inhale, walk the fingers away, deepen into the straddle stretch. Exhaling as you reach your peak of stretch. Inhale, step your hands in under your shoulders, exhaling here. Inhale, straighten your elbows, lengthen through your back. Exhale, walk those fingers out one last time. Finding the peak of your stretch once again. Thinking of your lift like a reverse swan dive. Inhale your arms out, up off the floor. Reach behind you as you lead with your heart to sit all the way up. Sweeping your arms overhead. Maybe a small back bend is accessible here. And then exhale, sit up tall. Hands come to your heart center. Bringing the bottoms of your feet together into bound angle pose for 3 to 5 breaths. Inviting the knees into a bent position. The spine tall and long. And picking a side to be the front of your mat, bring your back leg towards your front leg so they stack into mermaid legs. Hands come to the mat, lifting yourself to a tabletop position. Situating yourself comfortably, noticing the space between the knees so that the knees are under the hips. Fingers spread wide, turning the middle fingers to the point toward the corner of the mat, index fingers point towards the short edge. The external rotation supports the shoulder As you exhale, round up into cat. And as you inhale, scoop into cow, lifting from the collarbone. Resist the urge to lift with your chin. Scoop into cat, let the back round. Let the collarbones lead the scoop into cow, lifting from the tailbone. Finding a nice neutral spine and send your left leg back behind you like a tail. Flex through that foot and lead with the heel as you use the muscles of the back of the leg to lift the leg, keeping your hips square. On an exhale, touch your toes to the mat behind you. And then inhale, raise that leg, keep the hips square. Following your breath, touching the toes down on the exhale, inhaling to lift. As you move with this, notice the weight distribution in your hands. Maybe you've taken some weight out of your left hand. Invite a little bit of weight back in there so that you're more square. This last round of breath, and on the exhale, lower the knee to tabletop, moving through cat and cow once or twice. Finding your neutral when you're ready, sending that right leg back. Find stable here in your core. Flex through the foot. Inhale to use the muscles in the back of the leg to lift. Exhale to lower the toes to the mat. Follow your breath as you move from the hip, using the muscles in the back of the leg. Building core stability here, lengthening in both the front and back body. This is one of the few types of movements that can lengthen both your hip extenders and your hip flexors, undoing a lot of that sitting effect. Notice that weight in your hands again. Even it out. Take one more round before you place that right knee onto your mat. Sending your hips back into a child's pose. Feel free to roll your wrists or move them around, teacup them up, whatever helps alleviate some of that flexion effect, that bend effect. Teacupping them means coming onto your fingertips, almost like you were holding a cup of tea in the palm of your hand. When you're ready, lower your elbows down to the mat. Lead with your collarbone. You slide yourself forward, lengthening out the legs, bringing the torso to the mat. Finding a baby version of Sphinx pose, staying a little lower. You may feel a little collapse in the shoulders, but warming the body up. Inhale, lift the heart and collarbones forward. And exhale, tilt it back down towards the mat. Inhale, lift your collarbones and your gaze forward. Exhale, tilt it down towards the mat. You may notice your lower abdomen lifts when you tilt down. That's fine. Inhale, lift that chest and collarbones up. Exhale, take it back down towards the mat. Your hips are not lifted here. Go ahead and lift them, coming into a mini forearm plank. And then on an exhale, set them down. Take your elbows out to the side so you can stack your hands underneath your forehead, right hand on top of left. Taking a moment here to breathe and notice. Feeling the breath move through the back of your body. Inhaling to lift your head and shoulders, hands stay down. Your torso will stay still. As you inhale, reach your right arm out in front of you. As you exhale, sweep it back alongside your body. Inhale, move from the shoulder, reach that arm forward. Exhale, sweep it back. One more. Inhale, sweep it forward. And exhale, set the hand down, lower the head and shoulders, rest the forehead on the hands. Take a breath or two here, and then bring your left hand on top of your right. When you're ready, use your inhale to raise your head and shoulders. Exhaling to prepare. Inhale, send that left arm forward. Exhale, sweep it back alongside your body. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, set the hand down on the right. Lower the head and shoulders. Inhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Exhaling here. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lifting a little higher, pressing the floor away. As you exhale, lift the hips into tabletop. Inhaling and exhaling here in a square position. And then on your next inhale, place your right foot up outside of your hands. Feel free to bring the hands onto a block or anything that creates more comfort and space here. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel free to stay right where you are, this modification of lizard, or start to turn the right toes towards the corner of your mat, opening that right leg slightly to the side. Right hand can come to the thigh, allowing the torso space to twist. Noticing what you experience here, the places you find to stretch. Does any of it surprise you? Next time you exhale, re-square the torso and the leg, returning that hand down to the ground or block, and draw that right leg back, finding yourself in a tabletop position. Find nice and square first, and then draw the left foot up outside of the hands into this modified lizard. Once again, feel free to stay square, lengthening, noticing what you find, or turn those left toes towards the corner, letting the left hand drift up to the thigh, providing space for a twist. Notice what's going on with your face. Soften your jaw. Invite relaxation around the eyes. Maybe bringing a soft smile to your face, intentionally activating certain facial muscles. Using an exhale, untwist if you're twisted, returning to this modified lizard. Drawing that left leg back. Tuck your toes under. Arch up into cat, and then continue that lift, lifting your knees, tailbone, finding your way to a bent knee, downward facing dog. Feeling the length here in the body. Keep the knees nice and bent as you walk your way up to the top of your mat. When your feet make it up by your hands, notice the connection between your abdomen and your thighs. Staying deeply in this fold. Does not matter to me how much your knees are bent. That connection is important. Letting your head hang, maybe moving it yes and no if it feels tight still. And then as you inhale, begin to lift your hands in contact with your legs. Start to lift your gaze, bringing your torso upright as you exhale, finding your way into a chair pose. Breathing here, hands stay down. And then inhale, sweep your arms out and up as you straighten your knees, standing tall into upward hands pose. As you exhale, lean to your right. Inhale up to the center. Exhale, lean to your left. Inhale up to the center. Exhale, hands come down the center line as you forward fold. Bend your knees when you get to the bottom. Draw yourself in closer. Exhaling to maybe straighten your knees a little bit. Inhale, half lift. Straighten without locking the knees. Exhale, bend the knees, refold. With bent knees, inhale to reverse your swan dive, reaching out and up, and maybe even back in a tiny back bend. Coming to stand tall as you exhale and draw your hands down to your heart center. On an inhale, reach down, out, and up. As you exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Grab length in your spine. Take the length with you as you exhale. Plant your hands and step back to a knees down plank. Once again, notice the orientation of your hands. Middle fingers point towards the corner of the mat. Index fingers point more forward. Bring your chest and chin down. And then your hips, moving through inchworm as you inhale up into as much of a cobra as you would like. Tuck your toes under and exhale into a downward facing dog. Take 3 to 5 breaths here, your own pace, your own comfort level. Feel free to make this into a happy puppy if you prefer. Any movements are fine. And when you finish those 3 to 5 breaths, walk your way to the top of the mat. Notice the feeling of your mat beneath your toes. Exhaling into the skull, bending the knees slightly. Inhale, lifting up, dropping the tailbone, finding your way to chair pose. Exhaling your hands to your heart center. Inhaling here and exhaling, optionally twist to your right, lowering that left elbow down. Inhale to the center, set your hands onto your mat. Exhale, step the left foot back for a high lunge. Hands can stay down or inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, hands transfer to your thigh as your torso rises. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, your hands come to the mat. Step that left foot forward, chair pose. Sweeping it up. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Stay here. Optional twist on your exhale. The right elbow goes to the left leg. Breathing into the twist if you've chosen it. And then inhale to the center. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot shoots back, grounding down through the ball of the foot. Inhale, stay here. Or exhale, transfer your hands to your thigh, lifting your torso. Inhale, arms sweep overhead for some extra weight. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it forward, sit back, one more chair pose. Reach it up. Breathing here, feel free to reach your arms straight out in front of you instead of overhead, or even bring the arms alongside the body. Next exhale draws your hands to the mat. Use your inhale to walk your feet out to a downward facing dog. Exhaling as you arrive. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. Stacking hands under your forehead. Take a moment to establish your breath. As you inhale, lift your head and shoulders. Sweep your arms all the way back alongside your body. Exhale, place your hands onto your mat, heels of your hands by your floating ribs. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, back to child's pose. Noticing the breath through the body. Inhale, raising to hands and knees. Exhale, send the right leg behind you. Inhale, draw the right knee towards the right wrist. Exhale, send it to tabletop. Inhale, left leg goes long. Exhale, left knee to left wrist. Inhale here. Exhale, knee under hip, tabletop pose. Inhale, scoop into cow. Exhale, round into cat. Inhaling to tuck your toes under. Exhale, rise to downward facing dog. Finding any movement here that feels nice to you. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your left leg up into three-legged dog. Exhale, place your left foot up by your hands, lifting to warrior two. Pivoting out on that back foot. Torso rises, arms come up and out. Soften your gaze. Notice how you feel. Standing strong. Turn your front palm towards the sky and exhale to reverse your warrior. Inhale back to that warrior two, straightening your front knee. Exhale, lean forward until you can't reach forward anymore. Then lower that left hand to rest somewhere in triangle pose. Next time you inhale, press into your front foot, lifting the torso. Gaze settles forward. You can choose to repeat triangle, or if half moon is a part of your practice, hop that front foot back just slightly. And then when you're ready, regardless of which pose you're entering, reach forward till you can't reach forward anymore. Tilt down or launch off your back foot, settling you into half moon. Feel free to substitute triangle once again. That's fine with me. Releasing down with that back foot if it's lifted, drawing the torso upright. Straight legs, arms out to the side. Then cartwheel your hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lead up with that right leg into three-legged dog. As you exhale, set the right foot up by your hands. Lifting to warrior two, pivot out on that back foot. Softening the gaze. Flipping the front palm, tilting back to reverse your warrior. front knee. Exhale, reach forward until you can't reach forward anymore. Then tilt your arms so the hand rests on the front leg. Back arm reaches high. Inhale to rise. You're going to half moon here. Hop that front foot back about a foot's length. Reach forward once again so you can't reach forward anymore. Setting the hand down and optionally lifting that back leg. Release the leg down if it's lifted. Rising from the torso. Straight legs. Cartwheeling the hands to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Optional flow here through plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Back to down dog. Shifting forward to plank. Bringing the knees down. And sending hips back to heels for child's pose. Feel free to drape your arms back towards your feet. Widen the knees if you like, keeping the big toes touching. Checking with your breath, with your body. Staying low to the mat, creep forward towards Sphinx pose. It's up to you. You can keep the chest more towards the ground, making this a little less intense. You can lift the collarbones forward. Sometimes I like to bring my palms to touch here or interlace my fingers with the sides of my forearms to the mat, elbows out a little wider, more in a dolphin position to give a little relief to wrists and forearm muscles. The arms are more in that 11 position. Bring them into that triangle. And then shift your weight so that you come onto your right hip, almost on the side of the body. Pull your left knee in towards you and set the inside of that leg down on the mat, coming into half frog. So you can roll as much or as little to your left or more towards square as you like, bringing that stretch into the outside of the hip here. Alternately, you can do half bow if that feels like something that's better in your body today. Releasing that left leg long. Press through the bottom of the foot to get that length to build. Re-square the torso. More into that Sphinx pose. You can take the elbows out a bit to release down towards the mat with the heart. And then using an inhale, lifting more towards Sphinx, either that triangle shape or that parallel 11 shape with the arms. Option to pull the abdomen away from the mat for a little bit of core engagement. And then starting to shift the weight more into the left thigh, almost side of the hip. Drawing the right knee up so the inside of the leg comes to the ground. You can settle the upper body more square once again if you like, or keep it shifted over. Whatever keeps you comfortable and stable in a way that you feel the stretch in your hip. Maybe a different experience on the two sides of your body. Notice that. If bow worked better for you, that's still an option here. Starting to find your way back towards Sphinx. Drawing the abdomen away from the mat so it's more the lower part of the thighs in contact here. And setting the hips down, taking the elbows wide. Releasing all the way down, prone on the mat. You can turn your head to one side or stack your hands and keep the head square. Tuning into the breath as it moves through your body. Bring your awareness to the back of your rib cage. Feeling the expansion of the back of the ribs. Following that breath as the ribs draw further apart, closer together. There may even be a lifting sensation from the back of the body. Take one or two more breaths here. And then whichever side you prefer to rest on, extend that arm up overhead, giving you space to roll onto that side, bending your knees. Coming into side lying final resting pose today. Use the arm as a pillow. It can be bent or straight, whatever is most comfortable for you. Settling in. Letting the legs stack. Truly find that side position. Take your top hand back. Notice the alignment of your sit bones. Find those stacked hips. The top hand can come to the mat. just in front of your chest for a little bit of extra support here. Let the bottom arm fully support the head. So let your eyes close. Notice the parts of your body that are touching the mat. Feel how the breath is shifted. And if your mind needs something to do here, starting at 1,000, count backwards with each breath. If you lose count, just pick up at the last number you remember. Softening the muscles of your face and your jaw. Closing the eyes, counting as you follow the breath. Begin to release the count if you've been counting, shifting your awareness to the parts of your body that are touching your mat. Gradually begin to bring movement to the body, starting small and comfortable, gradually increasing the size of your movements until you feel ready to shift yourself into an upright position. Settling into a comfortable seat, scanning through your body once again, imagining that light starting at the top of your head, scanning down like a photocopier until it reaches the soles of your feet and the tips of your toes. On your next breath, take a deep one in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh the breath out as you exhale. Repeating this breath 1 or 2 more times. And then drawing your hands to your heart center. Take a moment to thank yourself for practicing today, as I thank each of you for showing up and joining me to practice. What's good in me honors what's light and good in each of you. Namaste.